Hello, party people, and welcome once again to the Party of One Christmas Spectacular. I am your holiday host, as always, Jeff Stormer, and on this very special episode of Party of One, an actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two, I am joined once again, as we always are this time of year, by my good friend Brandon Leon-Gambetta. From the Stop Hack and Roll podcast, the Protean City Comics podcast, designer of Pasión de las Pasiones, designer of Rad Crawl coming soon, one of my favorite people in the world, Brandon is joining me for yet another delightful holiday game. This year, our game of choice is Big Man on Krampus by Ash Cheshire. Big Man on Krampus is a two-player RPG about Freaky Friday-style body-swapping shenanigans between Krampus and Santa Claus trading consciousness on Christmas Eve. Like, honestly, that's it. That's the pitch, and frankly, that's all I needed to get excited for this game. This is so up my alley. The game itself is wonderful. I had such a good time playing it. Brandon and I had such a good time telling the story together. I really can't wait for you to hear the game. You can pick up your own copy of Big Man on Krampus by going to ashcangames.itch.io or check the show notes for more information. There in the show notes, you'll also find links to all of the things that Brandon is working on, because Brandon is a tremendously talented and hardworking man who makes all sorts of cool, wonderful things in games, and I really want you to check them all out. And also, he's just one of my favorite people, so, go check out his stuff. Now, I do have one thing to add before we dive into the episode, and that is on the topic of holiday traditions. Just a reminder that this Thursday at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/GMJeffStormer is the return of one of my favorite legitimate holiday traditions, and that's Talking Nog, a yearly tradition honoring a yearly tradition. That's right, the world's foremost, and as far as I know, only podcast exclusively about eggnog, returns this Thursday, December 23rd at 8 p.m. We're once again looking at your listener photos, answering your listener questions, and taking a look at the past, present, and future of everyone's favorite eggy, creamy, boozy, spicy Yuletide treat. Be sure to send your most pressing eggnog questions to talkingnog@aol.com, and then join us for the live podcast at twitch.tv/GMJeffStormer this Thursday, December 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, and happy nogging. And with that out of the way, now, I don't have anything else on a technical note that I want to throw in, and also it's the holidays and I want to get to celebrating as quickly as possible. So why don't we go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. This week, I am so excited. This is one of my favorite things that I do every single year. I've been looking forward to this all year. I am sitting down with my good friend, Brandon Leon-Gambetta. Brandon, welcome back on Party of One.
Thank you so much, Jeff. This is my favorite podcast of the year. This is so wonderful every time. We just have come into it with a half an hour of just getting together and chatting. We've got lights up. There's eggnog and Christmas beer flowing. Things are good.
Things are
wonderful.
good. Things are good. Things are chill. The holiday spirit is in the air. I am feeling relaxed and refreshed. I am ready to get back into the podcasting groove.
Wonderful. Amazing.
But before we get into that, Brandon, is there anything you'd like to let the audience at home know about that you've got going on that you think that they should know about right now?
So there's the perennial things you've been hearing about every year at least. Stop Back and Roll is my game design podcast, and Protean City Comics is my Masks Actual Play podcast. They're both really good. And
they're very, very good.
Out. And Jeff recently was a very important role on Protean City Comics.
I'm not going to spoil it, but legitimately, Brandon, I was just thinking about this and I want to say it on mic. The longest Halloween arc and the wrap up to that and being a part of that, legitimately, I sat down. I very rarely listen to things that I am on because I get weird about it. I get overly critical, but I sat down and I listened to the last episode specifically, and the editing that James did, bringing the two separate games that we played together,
amazing,
incredible.
Yeah,
just full, and that episode is a triumph of what actual play can be, really, truly.
I've loved the longest Halloween arc. It was so much fun. It was something I've been wanting to do from day one. And the execution that all of the players had, and the execution that James had as editor, and oh my god, you and Taylor's play, all of it.
I was endlessly grateful for you and for James, who both of whom said to me and Taylor, just record an hour, you do your thing. Here's the plot for this episode. I'm not gonna say it out loud because I don't want to spoil it. But the fact that you and James were both just like, here, do this, play whatever game you want, give us an hour, and we'll make it work. And Taylor and I were like, all right, here we go.
Because we trust you so implicitly and are fully right in doing that.
One of the best podcasting experiences I've ever had.
We need to have you on Protean City more often because you and I need to play another game in Protean City.
This is true. This is entirely true.
And then the other thing that I'm hyping right now is that I have a new company. I'm doing my own publishing of my own stuff under Mutant Orchid Games, and my hope is that Radcrawl's coming out with its first edition of minimum viable product edition in the year 2021. That I'm hoping to get it in under the wire, and we'll see. And that's my skirmish roguelike post-dungeon fantasy dungeon crawler.
Absolutely sick. Absolutely kick-ass.
I'm so pumped. I think it's gonna be so much fun. It's very 4th edition inspired.
I've been hearing you talk about Radcrawl for so long, and I just want to. I can't wait to see what the final thing is gonna look like, because I've heard you dump so many amazing, cool ideas into it that I have no idea what the finished thing is gonna look like. But I'm dying with excitement over it. I think it's gonna be so cool.
There have been at least a dozen versions of it, and this is the one that things finally click together, and I'm so pumped.
Speaking of being pumped, Brandon, are you hyped for today's game? Because
I'm so hyped for today's game.
So as a little bit behind the curtain, peeling back of the curtain, the way this works every year is we get to around November, and I panically I am Brandon. I'm like, we gotta schedule a recording, and then what I do is I go on to itch.io, and I just go to the physical games and I search the tag Christmas. This is a note to any game designers listening. Tag your games. It's really, really important. Find the things that people might be looking for. It is a way for people to find your thing. I use the tags on itch.io a lot. Go and do it. It's a tiny little step that has a big a dividend on the back end. So I just search the tag Christmas and I find things that are cool. And I sent you two, and this is the one we landed on because I just feel like it's got a great 2-player energy that I can't wait to dig into.
It has delightful 2-player energy. I feel like this is going to be a ton of fun.
I'm so excited. So we are playing Big Man on Krampus by Ash Cheshire, friend of the show. There's no way that I can intro this game better than reading the description of the game. So I'll read that right now. Actually, would you like to... You have the game in front of you. Would you like to go paragraph by paragraph and swap out?
Absolutely.
Cool. I will go first. Introduction. It's December 24th, Christmas Eve. By all rights, you should be relaxing by a roaring fire with your feet up on your favorite footstool, drinking your perfect, piping hot beverage of choice. You should be, but you're not.
No, you had to procrastinate on the one task that you dread each year as your season approaches. You are an immortal magical figure enlivened by the spirit of Christmas itself, but you just couldn't get your chores done.
The next thing you know, you're playing on your phone. Yes, of course you have a phone. Magical immortal beings enlivened by the spirit of Christmas itself are allowed to have the convenience of the internet in their pocket too. You want to text him, you shouldn't, but you really want to.
You texted him. Whoa, he already replied? No, wait, he texted you at the exact same moment. He texted you? Wait, why does that matter to you? Never mind, that's not important. Oh, sorry.
Never mind, that's not important. He asked you what you're putting off. Why does he just assume you're putting something off?
Okay, yes, that's what you texted him too, but he doesn't understand. He doesn't know how hard your side of this eternal bargain is. He's got it easy. He doesn't have to...
Wait, which one of us is which again? Can you also read that line? Because we're gonna AMFC it and lay those on top of each other.
Wait, which one of us is which again?
Sick. I'm so excited. Body swap Krampus Santa adventure? Sick as hell. Immediate sick as hell.
Love it. Love it. I if you had asked me to write every Christmas game possibility of what exists in tabletop games, I could have written for years and never hit this one, but it is perfect.
It is one of those ideas that I would have never thought of it And the second that I saw it, I couldn't not think about it. I was like, well, yeah, of course I want to see what happens when Santa and Krampus switch bodies.
Exactly. You gotta know.
I need to know. All right. So we are going to play Santa and Krampus. We have swapped bodies, and we need to figure out how to get back in our original forms while learning a little bit about the other person on the other end of this eternal bargain, and knocking out some of our last-minute holiday chores.
Amazing.
The first question, one of the more important questions that I'm going to throw to you, Brandon. Would you like to play Santa Claus or the Krampus?
I have spent like a week trying to decide, and I honestly can't. It has been killing. I have gone back and forth. I honestly cannot decide. I was going to propose that we roll a dice unless you had it.
All right, here we go.
I have dice here.
Do you want highs or lows? I have a very large, unless your dice are holiday themed. What do you got for me?
No, I have Wairuru seed dice.
All right, go for it. Give me a roll.
All right. Highs I'm Santa, lows I'm Krampus.
All right, sounds good.
I am Krampus.
All right, I'm Santa Claus. It is the role that I've been born to play.
That feels right, honestly.
That feels good. That feels good.
I'm definitely more of like an immortal evil demon than you are.
All right. So, privately, we are going to answer three questions for our character to define the chore that we've been avoiding, the challenge it presents, and the stakes of failing to complete it. Those questions are: what is the last crucial Christmas Eve chore that we've procrastinated on? Why is it exceptionally complicated, hard, or taxing? And what happens if it doesn't get done?
And we're just doing these privately, right?
Yeah, because they'll come out over the course of play. All right, mine are very, very funny, and there's a little bit of continuity from last year, and I'm very, very excited about it.
Ooh, I'm getting mine together. I'm almost done because you know how verbose I am. So just give me just a second. All right, I've got mine. I'm pretty excited about mine. I'm
so excited.
It is only vaguely. It is not very Krampusy lore. It is me going off and going like, I know some about Krampus. I'm gonna build.
So, this game tells the story of Santa and Krampus magically swapping bodies on Christmas Eve. The two stories will be told in turns, scene by scene, so there will be 2 scene 1s, 2 scene 2s, and so on. You will play your character at the other guy's house, and you'll narrate the setting and characters for the other player at yours. So as Krampus, you will be the Krampus in Santa's body, so you'll be at Santa's house. You'll be describing what you do in Santa's body, and I will be describing what's happening around Santa's workshop. And I will be describing what is happening in your demonic lair, as I am Santa in Krampus's body.
Incredible.
Each scene has moves listed for the active player, which is the body-swapped character. So when you are playing Krampus, there's a series of moves for you to make, and there's a series of moves for me to make when I am setting the scene and playing other characters. The moves alternate down the page to indicate player turn order. There will be guidelines about what story element needs to be included. It will be up to us to add narrative reason for these things to happen. We can feel free to brainstorm, collaborate out of character, and whatever else we need to tell the story.
Perfect.
So the game starts with us recording a vlog that our character was recording on our phone just before the Christmas magic body swap occurred. In your 1 to 2 minute video or monologue, because this is a podcast and we're already recording a thing, vent a little bit about the chore you've put off, why you don't like doing it, why it's really important, and what will happen if you don't do it. And just brag a little bit about why you're the only one that can get this done properly. Brandon, would you like to go first, or should I?
Would you mind going first? I'm trying to find... So, I am drinking some boozy eggnog right now. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows boozy eggnog is the greatest thing to drink at this time of year, but the worst thing to drink while podcasting.
Sure, yeah.
And so I'm trying to find in my head my Krampus voice.
Okay, sure.
At the same time that I am dealing with the facts that my voice is not going to be able to produce anything.
Love it. Love it. All right.
Move those uprights.
All right. Let me think about my Santa voice for a hot second. Venting a little bit about the chore that I've put off. I don't know. I don't have it in me this year. It's been a tough year. it's been hard on everyone, naughty and nice alike, and I've seen how hard everyone works, and I really want the holiday party at the office to go perfectly. When Santa makes his appearance at the party before I climb on the sleigh and I fly around the world. It is my moment to inspire my people, to inspire my team, and really acknowledge what we have pulled off. We have made Christmas happen again. And I got nothing. I got writer's block. It is the worst thing. I have to deliver a speech. I have to deliver a toast. I got nothing. I've said, I've been doing this for 5,000 years. I've said everything I can say. I don't have I got nothing left to say, and it's been such a tough year, and I want to acknowledge what people have done, I want to acknowledge all of the smiles on people's faces. I really want to acknowledge that we made this day happen, and we're going to make it happen for little kids all over the world, and that just sounds so trite on a difficult year, and so, I don't know, I'm gonna have to wing it or crib an old script, and everybody's gonna know it's an old script, and, I'll put the holiday magic on it, right? Like I'm Santa Claus. I can put on the laughter and the jolliness and it's classic. It's all show. I can turn that. I can flip that switch in a heartbeat. But I feel like I'm gonna let my team down today. I feel like I'm gonna let my coworkers down today, and I feel like I'm gonna let Christmas down today. I guess we'll figure it out. That's why they keep me in charge, I guess, so we'll see how it goes.
Hello, demons and imps. I'm not going to post this. Why am I even pretending? Oh, I can't go into the forest of the eternal night tonight. I'm too tired. I'm too ragged. My hooves are burning. But if I don't bring back howling skulls, the sled doesn't fly. And if the sled doesn't fly, then the naughty kids just get presents. Don't get scared, don't get kidnapped. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I don't want to kidnap kids. And that's why we have the howling skulls. With the howling skulls, they hear the sled, and they run away. And they don't end up back here, messing up my lair. So I gotta. But it's cold. It's cold, and the trees are sharp and angry. There's those stupid webs that get stuck on my horns. But if I bring them back here, I'm gonna be hearing about Coco Melon and Paw Patrol for a year before they come back. No. Keep your head on straight, Krampus. This is why there's no one else who can do your job. There's no one else who can do it. I'm not gonna post this. Why am I recording this?
The neurotic energy of both of our characters is so good. I love it so much.
We are both fully prepared to be immortal neurotic characters.
It's so good. All right. And then, poof, we look at our phones. We've swapped bodies. And we move on to our first scene, the practical side.
I like also that we've really set up an acting challenge.
Yeah.
To be...
Yep, we gotta embody those characters, those voices. I'm very excited. I'm so excited. Honestly, that is what part of what that is a tiny little detail to get into kind of theory talk for half a second. I know people are turning it off, people are hitting the stop button, and that's fine. A thing that I love about that doing that and delivering that monologue, that acting challenge is baked into the game, and I love that it says,
it's so good.
It says you listen to the other person for a solid 2 minutes, and then you go, okay, I gotta play that while embodying the character that I have talked about for several minutes.
Yo, don't worry, I got this.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
All right.
I made it easy for both of us.
I'm so excited. Scene 1, the practical side. Okay, you're stuck in his body. No big deal. Christmas magic, you're familiar with this in concept. You can just,
Well, since you're here, why not do that chore he was complaining about in that vlog entry he left open on his phone? Call it a Christmas present, call it a chance to flex at him for once. Call it an act of faith or a blatant play to trigger Christmas magic reversal through an exercise in empathy.
Okay. There's got to be a practical first step that you need to do to take this task. Maybe somebody around here can point you in the right direction.
Better not let on that you're not him, though. Let me say that again. All the eggnog. Better not let on you're not him, though. It probably wouldn't go well, and it could even upset the reversal magic.
That's the last thing you need. Scene objective, do the first step of the chore. Brandon, would you like to play through your first scene first, or should we visit Krampus's lair or Santa's workshop first?
This is gonna be a train wreck either way.
I'm so excited.
Why don't we start? Do you mind if we start with Santa's workshop?
Not at all. So with that, I'm going to ask you, describe Santa's workshop.
Oh, Santa's workshop is lovely. We all know it's at the North Pole. It's supposed to be like this big, beautiful place. We've all seen the Santa Claus. That's not true. It is beautiful, but it's beautiful and homey. Mm-hmm. It's a log cabin that he built with his own hands. Like, no elf involvement, because it was important to him that he built the home that his family would live in.
I love it.
It's well decorated, and like, he talks all the time about how he doesn't want it to be too Christmassy, you know, he doesn't want to remind himself of the hardest day of the year. It is so Christmassy. It is to the nines, with just like one step off. So it's like, yeah, I keep a fir tree inside my home. It doesn't have a star on it. That's not a Christmas tree. It's just a beautiful lighted tree.
Yeah, it's got some tinsel on it, but that's because it shines nicely on the leaves. That's not a Christmas. There's no star.
There's no star, first off. Yes, the throw pillows are red and green. There's also a silver one.
What? Yeah, what do you want?
That's not a reindeer, that's a moose.
Yes, it has a glowing red nose. Some moose have that.
Yes. And it does say Rudolph underneath it.
It's Rudolph the moose.
It's Rudolph the moose.
Okay, I love it. I'm going to describe my reaction to the body swap and realizing what's happened to them. So... Wait, no, hold on.
Wait, no. Yeah, wait, I'm there, right?
Yeah. All right, we'll stick with that description.
I'm sorry, were you supposed to describe it? It would make way more sense for you to describe it. I realize
now I'm supposed to describe it, but your description is perfect and I want to go with it. All right, I forgot which one of us was the active player and which was the narrating player for a second. But I like that description, so I want to stick with it. I think the detail that I do want to add to it is like, because this is Christmas Eve, two things are happening. The log cabin is fairly large. It's one of those ones that's got like a couple extensions, like a couple of what's the term for like expansion? It's got a couple expansions, a couple like additions. That's the word I'm looking for. It's got a couple additions. It's kind of like a little bit of like a larger cabin, kind of the kind of cabin you'd see at like a resort, right? Like it's and so it's got like, you know, it is the whole workshop. It's got all the spaces. It's got like the places for magically conjuring things. It's got a research lab. It's got some floors underground. But two things are kind of happening as this is all unfolding. One, it is a little bit of chaos because this is Christmas Eve. We are loading the sleigh. They are, elves are getting things ready. And the other thing that's happening bit by bit, the way that Christmas Eve kind of works at this North Pole is when your work day is done, it's like you don't have to go home or anything. It's straight to the party, right? Like it is
awesome.
It is you get in that, you open, you start work that day and it's finish up whatever else you got to finish up, and do not feel like, immediately like walk into the rec area for the party. You walk in, somebody hands you a glass of champagne. There is like Christmas music playing, but it's that kind of jazzy Christmas music. It's that sort of mellow sort of it's not the traditional stuff, because frankly we're kind of past that. Like, it's a lot of,
this is just his jazz station. This is not a Christmas station.
I'm playing smooth jazz. I can't control if they've put on a seasonal mix.
It's really so strange.
There's some really smooth like jazz, some bossa nova style Christmas music is playing, like, and it's just like the party itself, the atmosphere of it is very mellow. It is very like mellow, right? Like, it is not like a giant office party or anything. It's like it's like we have just put together an enormous thing, and this is everyone's chance to just fully like take the weight off of their shoulders for a day. So like
sounds wonderful.
In half of the workshop there is like people running around, and then you kind of see like a person walk through an open doorway, walk through a threshold, and immediately you just see them kind of like their shoulders drop, and they get handed a drink, and you kind of just see almost like you're being dropped underwater, that kind of sense of like, and so that is kind of the energy that's moving about. What's happening as Krampus looks around and realizes that he's in Santa's body in this space?
So definitely, like, he's sitting at Santa's like big, like, beautiful hand-carved desk that was a Christmas gift for him 700 years ago. And he just like his body, he's like kind of in a comfortable slump that just keeps slumping further down as the Krampus mind takes over. And then he just goes like, and his body like sort of like bumps up for a moment, and he turns his head around with just his teeth fully bared. But like now, instead of being like sharp demon teeth, it just looks like the weirdest Santa smile you've ever seen, because Santa's body is incapable of looking intimidating.
This is jolly man.
He just looks jolly and fully off. He looks down and he sees that he's got like these big white gloved hands. Because yes, Santa's wearing his big fuzzy white gloves inside. They're comfortable.
Yeah, like it gets cold.
It gets cold. And he like is looking down at the phone and looking up, and you can see him starting to like put the things together. And then he goes,
"He's verified? How's he verified? Why am I not verified?"
And then he like, it occurs to him suddenly, like he puts together like, I've seen body swap movies. The Freaky Friday is on loop. The bad one. And I'll leave up to the audience to decide which is the bad one, so that's a fun game, so that people can get arguing in the comments. Because in real life, I am indeed a little chaos gremlin demon like Krampus.
I love it.
And so he knows what this is about. He knows what he's doing. He's got to fix stuff. And so he like pushes himself up to his feet and immediately falls forward onto the desk, because he's got boots instead of hooves. And so he like his balance is all off. So he grabs the back of Santa's chair and is like pushing the chair in front of him and like trying to look casual about it as he starts to learn how feet work.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I am going to describe. So the next thing that I am going to describe is I'm introducing a character that approaches you with a business inquiry that I have. I'm mistaking you for the other guy. I think two things happen. I think that like you're looking around and you see two things. One, you see North Pole head of security John McClane walking around with a clipboard, like, "Let's go, people, let's go, wrap it up, get to the party." You see that he's not. He's already slipped off his shoes. He's making his knuckles with his feet. He walks by, and then Frosty, also a clipboard in his hand, slides up to you. Frosty is wearing instead of the buttons and a scarf, is wearing a tie.
Amazing.
Slides up to you. Sir, did you
Yeah.
hello, how are you? Are you okay?
Had some eggnog go down the wrong throat. I'm fine.
Did what the hell is the dentist's name? Is it Dennis?
I think it's Dennis.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. Hermie.
Hermie.
Did Hermie make that eggnog for you? Because he does not play around, sir.
No, yes, Hermie did. What a scamp.
Love him. Listen, sir, there's a few things that I need.
Love.
Oh, geez, that eggnog really did go down the wrong pipe, didn't it?
Him.
Yes, I can say the word. I can say how I feel about him.
Okay. I never said you couldn't, so that's great to hear.
No, ho.
Sir, there's a few last minute things I just want to double check about before we wrap up, before we call for the party. Do you have did you and Frosty like looks at his list. Did you
The list, yes.
No, I love that joke. It never gets old. Did you approve the final catering arrangements for the desserts?
No, I didn't.
Okay, great. I'm gonna get you to do that right now. And he looks around and he grabs a sheet of paper and kind of puts it in front of you, and like, it is a list of exorbitant desserts, the likes of which, like, we don't even have names for. It's like the Choco Mallow Dream Fountain, and the Sugar Sprinkle Chaos Bombs. And it's like, just whichever one of these you feel like is right for the rest of the meal, go ahead and just select it off. I'll hand it off to the chefs. They've got time to, like, throw this together. It's magic. It'll happen pretty instantaneously.
Yes, and like he's like unrolling the list, and it's just like it's prohibitively long. Like he's got like his hands like almost full length, arm length apart, which of course like Santa would just decide.
Yeah,
but Krampus has no idea what any of this stuff is.
Deep fried red velvet cream logs.
This interesting. What do the elves eat? Surely they don't. Surely they eat, meat.
Well, actually, on the menu I guess that's a way you could describe it. It's a rack
of cranberries.
It's cranberry. It's lamb. We have fish. We have lamb, and we have a vegetarian dish.
I was trying to decide what to pair the dessert with.
Sure. Yeah.
I still need to. Do I still need to ask? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed exactly where we were for a minute.
Yeah. So your next move is to ask the approaching character questions about how to get started with your chore, which is prepare your toast for the party itself.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that this was the thing I had to struggle with.
I just threw this out there as a thing to kind of like intro the scene. But yeah, he's got this list in front of you, and he's like, so just pick this list. I think this and the speech are the last things on your list.
Devil's food cake.
Perfect.
The devil's food cake.
That's
chocolate bliss.
Oh, it
should be delicious.
Positively sinful. Frankly, it is going to be outstanding.
Wow, wonderful.
Great. And the last thing I've got on my list, you're good with your toast, right?
Yes, I'll take rye.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. But I mean the speech you're giving alongside the toast.
The speech. Oh.
Yeah. The speech, the one you've given it every year for thousands, frankly, millennia.
Oh, I have.
Yeah. It's
Surely I have it written down.
I'm sure there are cards around.
We've heard it so many times.
You've heard it so many times.
We can dispense. No, I can see from your face. No.
No. Well, it's been, can I speak candidly?
Please.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
Can you watch the door? Take a job at the North Pole, they said. It'll be a wonderful vacation, they said. I'm getting bossed around until the last minute over here. Sir, between you and I don't want to alarm you, but, like, morale's been a little low. We've really been feeling the lull this year, and frankly, I think that, like, while your normal speeches are fine, I think speaking from the heart and just, like, if you can deliver a little something special to get us through this final push, I think it would mean a lot to the people out there.
The camera, like, zooms in on one of Santa's eyes and, like, goes through, like, this, like, quick, like, flashing, like, inside the body thing. And we can see from the body swap that, Christmas magic. The heart is one of the things that is transferred.
Yeah.
And there is just, like, some ribs and a for rent sign. That's just, like,
Classic.
swinging. It's like hanging on just one end. It's fallen down. And then we zoom back out. And he goes, "Of course, yes. For all the work, we wouldn't want things to get predictable."
Of course not. No, mix it up a little bit. Have some fun. Personally, I think they just kind of want to hear you be real and be you, right? Like the you that's inside.
That's certainly what they'll hear.
I'm so glad to hear it. If you need anything from me, I will be around wrapping some things up. Otherwise...
paper and bone. Quill. Paper and quill.
Paper and quill?
As much as you, or a typewriter, or whatever I use.
I've got an iPad. I don't know if does that you just tap it.
Perfect.
Take care of that, and we'll frankly, we're
You got an iPad?
We're trying to go green. We're trying to transition into tablet. We're going digital. It's saving paper. Frankly, we cut down enough trees for the Christmas trees. We're trying to reduce that a little bit.
Okay, absolutely.
Just jot down some notes.
Will work.
Jot down notes. John, you're off. Go hit the party. Oh, finally. All right, I gotta go to the hotel. I gotta go back to the room real quick, and walks off. And you are left alone.
The minute he's the minute he's like into the party, we hear him shout, "Welcome to the party, pal!"
Welcome to the party,
to the next
pal!
elf that walks in after him.
I love it, and that is where we will call our scene. So, which brings us to our other scene 1. So I will ask you, Brandon, describe Krampus's lair.
Well, let's go in on it the same way that we did on
That
the
sounds
first
good.
one, that we're going kind of like 50-50 and
That
like
sounds
bouncing
good.
ideas. Does that sound cool to you?
Krampus's lair is a mockery of Santa's workshop. It is a bone cabin.
Perfect.
It is.
Love bones.
There is like billowing black smoke. It is also like it is not in a cave, but it is like it is a giant bone cabin. There is like billowing smokestacks. There are pikes with skulls on them. It is everything that like is in Santa's workshop. There is some kind of like evil. But like the other detail that I want to throw out, and then I'll throw it to you to kind of describe like what the energy is in the space. The other detail I want to throw out is like a lot of this looks like we zoom past the skulls on pikes, and we can see that they're made of plastic, and like a lot of them, it's like this is manufactured to look like a super scary like counterpart.
Yeah.
Like this,
Totally.
This is very specifically like, and you can tell that some of the additions onto Krampus's workshop have been like hastily added. Like there's like a metal shed that has been built into it because Santa
It's just aluminum siding.
by hand built a new addition because he needed like a new break room for the elves. So Krampus just like shoved a shed onto the side of Krampus's lair and is like, I have an addition too.
he stole a mobile home.
Yeah.
And just like attached it to the side of the building at one point.
Yeah, it's just patchwork, but like it mirrors all of the additions. They're just like clearly engineered to look as scary as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So the air in Krampus's lair is never good. There's times in the year that Krampus will be out for some other holiday that he's like needed for. There's not a lot of them that are like really specific. He gets out at Halloween, and so there tends to be like a little party then. But for the most part, like no one is doing much in Krampus's lair because he doesn't have a lot to do. Like he doesn't have to make gifts. His imps and demons don't need to craft stuff. The decorations are the same decorations. Like, they were bought at Spirit like 35 years ago. Spirit opened its doors for the first time, and Krampus was like, I'm never decorating again.
Yeah.
And so he just like cleared out a store, and since then has not done anything else. So it's just like, there is evidence of the sloth. They have some they're kind of like pigs that are made out of like a viscous black slime that move around the space and eat like any detritus. And so there's like some signs up that's like, do not leave personal effects on the ground. So like it's not gross. It does smell of smoke and bone. But the imps are for the most part not doing much. Except for tonight, where they're standing expectantly outside of a window, just like staring in with just like giant orange glowing eyes. So like Santa kind of comes to in this body and is just like every window, there are just dozens of glowing, huddled tiny shapes. With like these like giant orange eyes, some of them like with 3 or 4 eyes, some of them with 1, that are just like clawing gently at the windows, and just kind of like waiting for him to leave, because when Dad leaves, the party starts.
Santa gets up. So the next thing I'm doing is describing my reaction. Santa gets up, clop, 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 falls right back into like a bone chair.
And his body hurts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I don't like that. I didn't like that noise at all. That was, lozenge. Ow, I clipped my throat a little bit on that. Oh, I have claws. Oh no, oh no. And looks up. Oh no. Oh, hello, my beloved. Why can't I say the word beloved? Don't like this one. I feel like I should be able to refer to them as my beloved. My friend.
I like that both of us got that we can't say nice words.
My minions. I can say minions. My minions. Hello. Can someone come in and talk to sad Krampus? Saint Krampus, saint of evil.
Every eye closes. And like that was the only light in this space was these glowing eyes.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like the dark. It's spooky.
And so there's just like silence. And then there's just sounds of chaos and fighting. Because no one wants to go talk to Krampus. After a little while, 2 lights appear in front of your eyes, like the 2 orange, and it's like maybe 6 inches away. It's this like imp is like covered with like a hood covering its face. You can just kind of see fur and the glowing eyes. It's like a little wobbly. You can see it. It's definitely three imps in a trench coat trying to look larger in order to be less, in order to be more intimidating.
Santa leans forward and reacts the same way anybody approaches Santa while he's seated, which is to say, going into Santa dogging the kids mode. Well, hello, little imp. Imps? How many of you are? Oh, you're a large.
One.
One? Okay.
Two. One.
Okay.
3. 1.
I don't like that. Listen.
4. 1.
Just a lot of you in there. Okay. Listen. Hello. I had a devious plan, and I need a little bit of assistance from you.
Of course, Krampus. Of course.
I fear a security breach. That's a good cover. That's a logical thing to say. I fear security breach. So I need to know, do you know what Krampus's plan is, and if so, what is it?
The skulls.
What
It's the skulls.
The ones outside, the plastic ones? Is that seems like an easy. Am I gonna like just gather them up? Am I handing them out as Christmas?
No, the festive decor stays up.
Oh, okay.
Until 12 days later.
Well, it's nice. It's nice. I just want to note that it's nice. Am I going somewhere? I'm going to collect skulls. What? Like
yes, the howling skulls from the Forest of Eternal Night.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that confirms my security breach because that should be a secret plan. But I will.
One of the body of the 4 imps on top of each other just like suddenly shifts as the second from the top grabs the top one and like drags them down into the coat.
What?
And the 4 of them like battle for a little bit, and then one pops back up. He's got like a long beak. He's like this bird creature.
Hello.
Still me.
Still you. I believe
Still
you.
One imp.
You would never lie. That would be a naughty thing to do. Which is why you
Yes.
would do it, because it's evil.
Yes, as we were saying, Krampus brought Krampus.
Krampus, that's me. I'm Krampus.
The next thing that needs to happen is getting the sleigh out, which means getting the howling skulls.
Howling skulls, sleigh.
From the... Yes, they line the sleigh. They come from the Forest of Eternal Night.
And what will all of you be doing as I get the sleigh, I gather the skulls? Is there work for you to be doing?
There's the coat suddenly starts like shouting out like drinking, sleeping. There's like some vulgar suggestions from it as well. And the bird imp kind of like stomps down on them.
Are you having a party?
Huh? No.
Oh, I hate parties, but they are
Same.
They are an evil thing, so I endorse them.
Big mood.
And Krampus like, yes, go have your evil party, and perhaps you will find drinks and refreshments there. Evil ones, putrid ones.
No party or food. The Grinch ate all of it. Just like every year.
Looks around, finds a sheet of like a little like post-it note that has finds a little post-it note and goes, so oh no, I've been overtaken. I must flee. I suspect that we are being watched by a Santa presence. I hope no one finds the key card to the pantry right there on my desktop computer. I must flee and gather the skulls or whatever I'm supposed to be. I'll figure it out. But no one must grab the key card to the pantry, which is full of treats and goodies and things that would make a party really, really magical if you were to gather them up. No one should have that post-it note that's right there. If anybody were to grab that, they'd have complete access to the pantry. I'm gonna go now. Protect that Post-it note, though. That's big.
And like the minute that Krampus's back is turned, there's just like sounds of shattering glass as the imps just like flow just into the room as though they are liquid.
I love it. I love it.
And they just like overtake the desk, and when they move past, the note is gone.
Oh, I don't like that laugh. I do not. And I think that's where we'll call it, and we'll start for scene 2.
Excellent.
Scene 2, the challenge. That was just step 1. Now to get this chore done and get back where I belong. It can't all be that hard, right? I mean, there's got to be some reason why he puts this off, but maybe he just doesn't take the whole thing as seriously as I do. Well, this shouldn't be any trouble for me anyway. Give me the next line.
What, like there's going to turn out to be some kind of unexpected obstacle? Something that only he can do? And I'll have to come up with some new way to complete the chore?
As if he's not that special. All right, so we are now going to discover a new obstacle.
This laid out beautiful version is very nice.
It's so nice.
I was looking at the other version, and this version is even nicer.
It's so nice. Ash, you really crushed it. I know that you're listening to this. You really knocked it out of the park. Listeners, go pick this up. It's delightful. Okay. Oh, excellent. I'm so happy. I am so happy. Brandon, we are going full continuity.
Amazing.
Actually, we're not, because hold on, let me think about this. Hold on. Let me look this up for a second. I want to go in a vastly different direction. So I have to decide about something.
To quote the Santa Claus that probably doesn't need to go into the actual episode, Santa's getting kind of buzzed. His eggnog was a lot stronger than I realized.
Look
how pink I am. I'm a jolly old elf.
All right, yeah, I know what I'm doing. You said the word, and I'm bringing it.
Uh-oh.
No, actually, I lied. I know exactly who I want to what I want to introduce, what threat I want to introduce, what obstacle. Okay. So you've had some time to write. Like this is a little while later. You've been sitting. You've been taking notes. You kind of peek your head out, like you're kind of like learning to walk on your feet. You kind of sneak around, and you notice that like no one is around, and you hear a shuffling over your head, and then from a vent you hear, "Hey, big guy,
Huh?
And you see a flicking lighter as John McClane's face.
And definitely, Krampus has tried a couple of different writing implements at this point to see if one was like a magical pen that would happen to work. And so he just like hucks the pen at John McClane. It's just like a quill. So probably. Oh, so you know what? I think it like pierces into like it like slides into the top of John McClane's undershirt.
Yep.
And it just like blossoms into like mistletoe and like beautiful, like a couple little bells appear on it.
I'm all dressed up. I'm like Gary Cooper with those striped shirts.
I'm so impressed, by the way, with the amount that you can pull from Die Hard.
And at that moment, like a little walkie-talkie slides out and it buzzes. Hey, big guy, I need to talk to you.
Of course, my child.
Don't call me a child. Listen. Here's the deal. You remember that real creepy kind of little bit fash fella that we kind of kicked out of the organization last year, the elf on the shelf?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's back.
I remember him.
He's back and he's taking over the place. He's got the whole thing on lockdown. He's got eyes all over the place. I'm in the fence.
Oh.
I'm trying to knock out some surveillance, but it seems like the whole party's kind of upended itself because this guy's kind of got himself positioned as the new head of Christmas, and he's saying that all the kids are naughty, and honestly, he's just on and gabbing, and I'm trying to keep this guy talking, but I need somebody on the ground to get in there, get close, and take him out so that I can get this party back on track.
Of course. And by take him out.
Probably don't kill him. It is Christmas.
Don't. No, of course. I would never. That sounds like
All right.
Krampus talk.
So
Why did I mention his name? Gotta be bad luck to do that. Isn't it? Ho, ho, ho.
Yippee, ho 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 ho. Wait. Ho ho ho. Now I got a machine gun. I'll see you around, big guy.
See you around, cowboy.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And John McClane crawls off. Now you approach you see the party. You see the elf on a shelf sitting like the elf on the shelf sits, like on like Santa Claus's throne, and several other identical elf on the shelf are like walking around hassling elves.
And Krampus is just gonna walk towards the room, and just slam both doors open, like Aragorn style, like down the middle. And they just slam open, and just freezing, frigid, cold air just like blows past him and like makes Santa's coat like billow behind him. As we have established, Santa is incapable of looking intimidating.
This is true.
So it doesn't work to be scary.
I love it because that is you. So you walk in, you realize this, and you see the way everyone's looking at you. Tell me how you attempt to complete this chore the way the other guy would do it.
There's a moment that Krampus like has his hands down at his side, and he's like channeling Christmas magic. Mm-hmm. But the way that he channels Christmas magic is different from how Santa channels Christmas magic. And so like he's trying to like form like icicles that will like fly out and pin the elf, and it's just not working. It's making like sparkles and shining, shimmering snowflakes. And so he just drops that and stands for a moment completely still, and then just starts walking forward and says, Elf on the shelf.
Don't move. And several they hold up large candy canes and point them at you. Don't move. Don't you move, big man. This is our operation now.
He gives a smile, and he just like reaches out and puts his hand on one of the candy canes and just like moves it downward and says, a train track. That's what you asked for this year, wasn't it? And he turns to the next one, and like the Santa body is like providing him information. And so he says like, there was that one doll that you were looking at. Beautiful little doll. Don't we all deserve to have what we need to be happy?
And this is why it doesn't work, is in that moment, deserve. No, that's not how it works, Santa Claus. And the elf on the shelf is leaning forward. The elf on the shelf is still only about a foot tall. I don't think the elf on the shelf is larger than that.
Perfect.
Leans forward. No, that is not how it works. That was not the agreement, Claus. The agreement was that there was naughty and there was nice. You lost track of that. You lost sight of the mission. I am here to recapture the spirit of this and bring back a sense of watchfulness and a sense of rules and a sense of consequences. If you cannot deliver that, then I will be forced to.
You wish to talk of consequences?
And his hand just like raises up towards the elf.
Now you're solving it in your way.
I'm solving it my way. I think the elf just like hurls through the air to Santa's hand and is just like caught by Santa. And he just like brings the elf up to his face, and like no one else can see because they're a little bit back, but Santa's eyes just go like fully black. And he just says, if you wish to follow the naughty list, you will lead it. I will put your name on the top, and it will never be cleared. You will never be absolved, little elf.
I'll drag you down till you feel every bit of pain and frustration and work that I do. Now turn around and say Merry Christmas.
You think this is over? This hasn't yet begun. Merry Christmas, everyone!
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone.
You've made a powerful enemy. You've made a powerful enemy. Kaboom! The window explodes. John McClane, fire hose, wrapped around himself. The elf on the shelf goes flying into a wall, gets knocked unconscious. John McClane rolls through, fires 3 rounds into the sky. All of the other elves scatter. My late big guy.
Situation handled.
I
like the way you think about Christmas.
I got a little tired of the classics. I figured we could go with something a little more modern this time around.
Let's give them a Christmas they'll never forget.
I like the way you're thinking about Christmas this year, big guy. And I think...
I need to finish this. Do I need to finish the chore, or we do that next time?
Let me see. I think I will ask you to finish the chore. Give us,
okay.
In this moment, give us your speech. Or your toast, or what have you.
So like, elves are like trying to like get out the room, and Santa just raises his hands, and like there's candy canes next to each of the doors, and they just like fall across the doors to like hold them to like close them for a minute. And he says,
I'm sorry. Faced with things that would undo us, it can be difficult to keep joy in our hearts. You, elves, reindeer, merry folk of the north, penguins, that snowman over there.
Hey, boss.
John McClane, each of you deserved better than what happened here tonight. You deserve Christmas, not a working Christmas, a celebration of Christmas. Every day, for the joy and love and care that you bring. I am an immortal magical creature, but I am one man, and I could never do this without you, and I will never abandon you. Merry Christmas. Let's get the party going again. And let's start over.
and he like walks over to the elf on the shelf that's on the ground. The elf on the shelf that has conveniently landed on a shelf, and reaches up and like takes his tiny hand and says, "Let us start over, my friend."
And he reaches a hand, and you see the two of you shake hands, and John McClane comes around on your shoulder and goes, "It's a great speech, big guy. It's a hell of a party, but, all things equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. I'm just messing with you." And he kind of walks off, and the two of you just, look at each other, and I think we segue over to our next scene, too. So...
Okay.
What is the unexpected obstacle in the way of Santa as Krampus gathering the Howling Skulls?
Okay. So, Santa as Krampus,
Yeah.
is walking through the Forest of Eternal Night. Santa, of course, magically has a full knowledge of what time it is.
Oh, sure.
And so he knows that he has not been walking through the Forest of Eternal Night for 30 days.
Sure.
But it feels like it. And he keeps walking, and he knows that he has not been walking through the forest for 30 years. but it feels like it. And right about the point that he hits 300 years of walking, and he's tired and his goat legs are burning, he comes face to face with the Witch of the Wood. She is an enormous creature of night. And like her body is formed from the trees and of the trees and its own self. And like everything is hazy and strange. It's like you'll be talking to her and then your attention will turn and she's behind you and she is a tree.
Yeah.
And then she's before you and she is like a arachnid like creature. And then you turn and she's not there at all, but you hear her voice in your mind. And she says, "You've come once again, Krampus."
Yes, this is a thing I've done before. I've come for the, what did they say? The howling skulls to adorn on my sleigh so that I howl and scream. If we have had this interaction before, I think that you know all of that. And I will fight you for it. I have a switch here.
Krampus. You seem different.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'm the same. I'm evil. I'm evil, and I'm here to fight. Put him up. Or I don't. I guess I would use claws in a fight. I don't know if this switch is a. Do I usually swing a switch? I've been walking a long time, so I'm confused.
Swing away with your switch. You know it will do you no good.
And I start swinging, and it's just nothing.
Just nothing. And then like, there's just like a tree like grabs onto Krampus's arm and just like spins and flings him around to the ground. And the witch of the eternal forest is standing above him and says, "You've come for the skulls."
That is correct.
The same deal as every other year.
That deal would be?
And she just like reaches down to her belt and like pulls out this like big like sacrificial dagger. And she says, "Your heart, of course."
And it does not work because I refuse to offer it, and we zoom in and it is, and we get the same kind of X-ray, and like as soon as it does it, we see the Grinch thing if it explodes. So it's just like I've got too much to give this time. And he sits and he's like, "What? But I think I have something else that I can give." Oh god, these pipes are awful. This is gonna be horrible on the throat of me, the Krampus, and not anyone else doing this voice.
I'm so sorry, Jeff.
It's fine. Look, you didn't make the creative decision that I'm about to make.
Okay.
And he sits and he kind of like sits back and like kind of is like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not giving up my heart." And he sits back and he slumps, and when he slumps, he thumps against something. He feels for a second. He feels a very familiar like shape at his back, and he looks up and he sees familiar colors and he sees familiar branches, and he sits there and he, "Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
Oh, Krampus, what are you doing?
How
No.
lovely are your branches."
And like all through the tree, there's like spiders and like creatures and like crows and ravens, and they start to like just like get like agitated. And so like web and branches and pines are all falling around around Krampus. And she says, "Surely you don't intend to forsake our deal. If you do, you won't have the skulls. You're going to be forced to take the naughty children. You've seen what naughty children do to a Lair. Is that really what you intend tonight?"
And he stops singing for a moment. He looks up and he thinks for a second. No. But the thing is, witch, I've got something I didn't have last year. He picks up his switch and he kind of like hunches back over. "I've got a heart, And he walks back through the wood, and it's been 100 years. And we finally come back to the cottage, and he kicks open the door. Minions!
And like they're in like full party mode. Like there's like Muppet style vaudeville music playing, and like they're like swinging from chandeliers, and like it's like extreme. It's very Labyrinth. And then just like all of them like stop and turn and are like perfectly still as if this makes them disappear.
Picks up a goblet, and it's like, you know, the smoking liquid. I owe all of you an apology. As your master, as your evil master, I owe you an apology.
Yes.
You have skills and you have possibilities that can bring much evil to the world. How would you like to cause some mayhem tonight?
And like the ghost of Christmas past, like is just starts like doing a slow clap. Mm-hmm. And everyone just starts like the imps start just like moving around, and everyone's getting all excited and getting ready to like cause some mischief.
And I think the next thing we see, finishing the chore, is we get a shot of the sleigh, and it's bone adorned, and it's like, you know, spitting fire, like nightmares at the front. So the horses with the flaming manes are running, and like a couple of the minions are playing electric guitar in the back. And instead of throwing presents, I'm just grabbing like 3 little goblins and throwing them. And we just get a montage. We get a montage of like gremlins not kidnapping anyone, but just chasing kids around a house, messing with things, knocking over paintings. And then the sleigh comes by. A
little bit scary.
And then the sleigh comes by again, and they just like hop on, and there are gremlins holding on to the
See ya, sucker.
See.
And these are registered trademark gremlins.
Yeah, these are the gremlins from Gremlins.
These are the gremlins among other imps and everything. Yeah.
It's just that is how I finish the chores. I don't need the haunted skills. I've got my minions, and we can make all the mischief and scare all the naughty kids in the world.
Perfect. Fantastic.
And that's how Santa does it. And that brings us to scene 3. The
Pippin just came in and scared me so badly by just like rubbing up against my leg because I thought he was sleeping in the other room.
That's fantastic. It's a gremlin.
It's a gremlin. It's a little cute furry gremlin.
All right. Scene 3, the unexpected insight. I did it. I mean, of course I did.
I will admit that was harder than I was expecting, though.
Maybe
I've misjudged.
Maybe I've misjudged him. Maybe.
I wonder if he...
Now we're going to have a spontaneous moment of empathy. So, Brandon, narrate an absolute explosion of Christmas cheer and merriment. The chores are done and the party can start.
Okay. Should we be together for this?
I think so. I think this is the peak of the party. This is when it turns into a rager. Because at this point, what happens is... I
was gonna say, I feel like these can come together really nicely, and I think you're heading the same direction.
I think it does, and I think we can do both of these scenes at the same time.
Awesome.
I think what happens is, like the peak of the party, and this kind of happens every year, is like the Santa's party like picks up, you know, gets sick, and then this sleigh crashes through, and. like launches. It's kind of a raid. It's kind of an invasion, but it's also just like kind of party crashing. And so like this is the traditional Krampus and Gremlins crash the party.
Amazing. And Santa turns. Krampus as Santa turns and just goes like,
"No, not like this. I mean, ho ho ho. Welcome to the North Pole."
Yeah, we're here, and we're evil is, oh my god, is that devil's food cake? Because it's the most evil of treats. Oh, I appreciate a devil's food cake.
Then, come have some devil's food cake.
Yeah.
And I'll have some more of this delicious, heavily spiced cider. It's almost sharp enough to be like home is something Krampus would say.
And Santa would say we make it, and as Santa, I'm guessing, you would probably make that fresh for Krampus every year so that he's got something sharp to drink, which is why I will drink it, because it's miserable. It's a miserable drink.
And Krampus, you, I'm sure, would be sorry that you haven't come up other years and wouldn't have known that I make this for you. That's
well, this is an evil invasion. This is a villainous plot, and what better time to strike than Christmas Eve? And if we fail to take over, maybe we'll come back next year and try again when you're at your most vulnerable, or during the party shortly after you're at.
Yes, and
yeah.
We'll be ready for it with open arms.
Yes, and we shall enjoy that quite a bit.
And Santa comes over to Krampus and offers a hand to help Krampus down, because he knows exactly how difficult it is for Krampus to get in and out of the sleigh with hooves.
You might also try the eggnog. It's a bit sweet for me this year, but it might be to your taste.
I will steal it from you. I will take it, and I will enjoy that. Thank you.
You could never take something freely given.
And I think we walk by.
Bruv.
And suddenly, with a drink of an eggnog and a drink of a cider, we're back in our bodies, and it is time for the epilogue.
I think they drink the cups around each other's arms.
Yeah. And suddenly they're back in each other's bodies, and we cut to
they're back in each other's bodies, and Krampus immediately spits the eggnog on the ground.
Santa immediately spits the cider.
Cups.
Exchange cups. And then we take a minute or two to send a video to the other guy. Would you like to go first, or should I?
Krampus he sends it during the party. He's ended up in Santa. It's Santa will be able to immediately recognize it, that it's in his private bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And Krampus normally has a kind of a scraggly beard, but he's clearly used some of Santa's beard softener, because he's got an extra big puffy beard right now. And he's like,
Santa, hey, listen, I don't know how you do this. They ask so much of you. And just tonight, that's more work. That's more work than I've done in years. And you left the party to deliver Christmas presents. That's how I got in your bathroom. But don't tell anyone. Merry Christmas. I know this means a lot to you. And, we're kind of stuck together, And so, given that, I'm sorry that I haven't reached out in the past, and I think, both of our eternities could be a little better by us, cooperating more. Okay. Oh my god, I gotta send this. I can't even. Listen, Merry Christmas, okay? Merry Christmas. And I didn't burn down that tree. If anyone suggests I did, they're lying, and fire them. And I didn't do that, and Merry Christmas, and I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Click.
All right, and then later on, you get a video message from Santa. And, like, Santa is... As it starts out with Santa in midair. Like, the wind is whipping. He's got the goggles on. Krampus! Krampus! It's Santa Claus! I'm wrapping up the journey. I just kind of wanted to... Oh, we have got to work on a better landing system. Listen. I just wanted to say, I have missed that laugh. You have an incredible villain laugh, and frankly, it is very hard to pull off. I wanted to say, I wrote off a lot of what you give to fill in the other side of this equation. I had perhaps grown a little complacent and a little accepting of the deal that we had, and I wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to say, you've got a great group of minions, you've got a great group of horrifying gremlins and bird monsters, and frankly, just terrifying looking things. I wanted to say apologies about your pantry. You'll see when you get back. I will send a check. I will have the accounting team wrap that up for you. And last but not least, second to last but not least, the Witch of the Wood is terrifying. What is going on with that? What is happening with the Witch of the Wood? There is so much going on there that I was not aware of, and we need to have a talk about what is going on with the witch, because I have so many questions. I've got questions about the arrangement that you've got. I've got questions about how this is impacting me. We'll talk later. But the most important thing is, I swear this is a pledge to you that if you try to invade our party next year, I will ensure that my head of security, John McClane, will be ready to take you on with the full force of his armies, which, admittedly, most of the armies will be at the party, so it'll just be him crawling through the vents, kind of his traditional holiday thing. He has a blast doing it, but I will make sure that as long as note of recurring villain, the elf on the shelf, does not come back and try to launch a secondary thing that will distract John McClane, giving you a chance to break into the workshop, invade with your minions, bring them all along, and you will be faced with Marwrath. And if you want to just and if you try to break through our security system, the key code, using the key code EGGN0G, you will not be welcome, and we would be outraged to see you this time next Christmas Eve. Come a few hours earlier. Just, we've got a whole feast ready. We will have some trash for your gremlins to eat. I saw what they were eating at the party. They seem to be having a blast. Looking forward to it, buddy. And that's game.
That's game. That was so much fun.
Blast. Heaven. We'll look forward to it every year, and it never disappoints.
I had such a good time, and I know I'm going to be regretting it in my voice tomorrow, but I will never regret it in my heart.
I am already regretting it.
I can feel it already. Yeah.
Oh, Brandon, thank you so much. This was delightful.
Oh, so much fun, Jeff. Thank you so much. Every year I have such an excellent time.
One of my favorite traditions of the year. Brandon, real quick before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work online?
You can find me at Leon-Gambetta on Twitter. I'm at Leon-Gambetta as many places as I can be. So I'm technically on TikTok. I'm technically on YouTube. I don't really use either of those a whole lot. You can find my Slenderman hunting game, Chase the Hollow, at bleongambetta.itch.io. You might know my work from Pasión de las Pasiones. And if you follow at Mutant Orchid on Twitter, you will find, hopefully, a whole bunch of Radcrawl stuff coming out soon.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Brandon. Thank you so much. I look forward to this every single year.
Thank you so much. I treasure this, and I really appreciate you including me in this. It's so wonderful.
One of my favorite things that I look forward to all year. This was great. This lived up to it. And for now, I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show.
Hey, quickly.
Yep.
Mind saying Merry Christmas to your future you?
Hey, future me? Merry Christmas, buddy. Take it away. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, past me. What a wonder. Legitimately, I look forward to this recording and this episode all year, and it never disappoints. It never fails to brighten my entire season. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed playing it. And also be sure to pick up your own copy of Big Man on Krampus at ashcangames.itch.io. I think it's a wonderful, cute game, and I think it opens up for a lot of really fun and engaging stories. I think you're gonna love it. Like I said, you can find a copy of the game at ashcangames.itch.io. That's like Ashcan Games, and so can you. You can also check the show notes for more information. You can also find all of the things that Brandon works on, Stop Hack and Roll, Protein City Comics, the games Brandon makes, and be sure to follow Brandon on Twitter at Leon-Gambetta. Then while you're on Twitter, follow us at Party of One Pod. Join our Discord community at bit.ly/partyofone-discord to tell us what you thought of the episode. You can also head to bit.ly/partyofone-merch to check out the Party of One merch store. We'll have some new designs coming in the new year, but we have the Party of One logo shirt, as well as a shirt that lets the world know that Champ and Crowbar love each other, because Champ and Crowbar love each other. You can also support the show financially at patreon.com/JeffStormer or ko-fi.com/JeffStormer. Or if you want a non-financial way to support the show, give us a review. Head to Apple Podcasts or Podchaser or Spotify. Apparently Spotify has ratings now, and that's like a new thing. So go to Spotify and leave a review, or leave a review wherever it is that you are listening. And that just brightens my day. It's a little holiday gift that you can give to me. I don't know, you don't have to give me a gift, but it would make me happy. You can also talk about how you like the show on social media. Tell a friend to listen to an episode. Anything that helps the show reach new audiences and do bigger, better, and cooler things. Now, if you're looking for even more delightful podcast content to wrap up and close out the year, might I recommend checking out All My Fantasy Children, a character creation, storytelling, and world-building podcast on the One Shot Podcast Network, in which every week, me and my best friend Eric Catano Saez take a listener-submitted prompt, we spin it into an original fantasy character, and populate a shared universe one story at a time. New episodes drop every Friday-ish, at oneshotpodcast.com. Party of One is produced and edited, as always, by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. Music for this episode comes from the song Christmas Rap by Kevin MacLeod, and the Party of One logo is by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, coming onto the show as a guest, or about press coverage of the show, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back to kick off 2022 proper in a few weeks. Look for us on January 10th for, hold on, let me check the notes for the title, the fan-made My Little Pony RPG Alex Perlman found in his house when he moved in with Alex Perlman. So look forward to that, and until then, I just wanted to say, at the end of a long, uncertain year with what appears like it might be an uncertain year ahead, I wanted to say happy holidays, and I hope that you find the light and joy and comfort to carry you through when the world is at its darkest and coldest. And at the end of the year, at the end of an eventful year, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for spending time listening to the show, hanging out with us, listening to us play games. I love making this show. I love hanging out with people and playing games, and I am eternally grateful that there are people that take time out of their day to listen to it. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything in 2021, and here's to new beginnings, new adventures, and new journeys in 2022. On behalf of all of us here at Party of One, thank you for listening. Happy holidays, and party on, everybody.